It's week 3 of the NFL. And coming up, we'll see the dynamic Alvin Kamara.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes, because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
The numbers on the ground for Walker a week ago. 15 carries, 62 yards.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Linemen can set their blocks and hold them a little bit longer, and he can be quicker to the hole and hit a lane. If they do that, they should get some better numbers produced this week.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. Well, I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. On now, the former Vol, Michael Palardy. Deep to return is Kevontae Turpin. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. From the 22 now, here's 2nd down and 7. Here's Mahomes to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. The Packers at 2-0 here to begin the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there. Here's a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. From the 41, here's 2nd down and 7. They run it again with Kamara. And the lane closes up quickly as we get about 3 down to the 38. When you look at the Saints defense, they enter play 1 from the bottom, number 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
I always think back to what my defensive coordinator in college used to tell me. Playing against the run is 11 individual battles, man on man, and are you going to win that battle? You're going to whip the guy across from you and get to the ball carrier, wrap him up and put him on the ground, because the one thing he absolutely detested was yards after contact. Tackle him, put him down on the spot.
Mahomes now on 1st down. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Ja'Marr Chase, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Here comes 3rd down and 7. There's Garoppolo to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And, CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles, really put it on those receivers.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time, let's keep doing it until they stop us? Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 35.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Saints are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown! Cortland Sutton, 59 yards. And the Saints are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this 1st quarter. These two teams all tied after 1. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They had the interception last drive, led to the tying touchdown. So 7-7 the score as they begin 1st and 10.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And not much doing there. Maybe a yard up to the 23.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure.
This is intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start 1st and 10. Walker now on 1st and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Garoppolo now.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. To throw is Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Green Bay up to the task there in coverage and forcing a fourth down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
The kick by Sanders is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. After the fumble recovery, it's Garoppolo. And it's caught. Touchdown, Saints. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half.
And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This taken in at the goal line. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Little short pass here to Hill. Hill shedding the tackle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the 1st as well.
And with that last throw, a nice milestone for Patrick Mahomes. He goes over 25,000 yards passing for his career. Well, it seems like his rookie year was not that long ago, but he is steadily climbing that all-time leaderboard and figures to do so for many years to come.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Kamara up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
23 yards the pickup there.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Mahomes' throw complete there to St. Brown.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down. To throw, it's Mahomes. He finds his man, complete. That's Watkins. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Tried to go draw play out of the gun down here.
Yeah, they tried to spread things out, didn't they? They wanted to move people away from the center of the field, away from the line of scrimmage near the ball, so that the runner could find some space. Unsuccessfully, though.
And it's a Packers touchdown. Noah Fant, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Packers have cut it back within a score.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Tucker now to add the point after. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here are the Saints to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Play action. Garoppolo. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. This is going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Palardy now on to punt as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and 6 now. A 10th carry for Kamara. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2nd and 7 from the 20. Now Garoppolo. He completes it to Jones. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The Packer offense heading back for one final first-half drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Now here's Mahomes. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Alvin Kamara reeling it in on back-to-back plays.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting.
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. He's to the 15. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. Geno Smith has thrown a touchdown pass. From Miami, we stay in the AFC East and head up to check on the Jets at home at MetLife Stadium. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. The Pats trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Finally, let's get to Silicon Valley to check on the 49ers at home at Levi Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. Kenny Pickett, sharp in the victory as his guys bounce back from a tough start to the year to claim victory number 1. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the 3rd quarter.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he's got to be wondering what happened in that first half. 3 interceptions, very uncharacteristic.
And even the great ones go through phases like this, like what we just saw. And most of them, they have such a mental capacity to throw it out and essentially start over. I think that's where he's headed now.
He's got his opportunity to throw it out. Let's see how he does. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
If for some reason you doubted Chase's elite ability, how about this? Missed 5 games last season, still reached 1,000 yards and made the Pro Bowl. His name always at the forefront of the game's greatest playmakers.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. From the 46-yard line, a second down and 6. Again, it's Kamara. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have a Packers first down, and comfortably so as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. Here's Mahomes to throw. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
On first down, Mahomes. His throw incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. A give. This is Kamara. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Tucker's kick is good, and this is back down to a 7-point game. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. We've got a close game. The offense has played well, but right now they've got to keep their foot on the gas.
And that carries with it an extra bit of pressure, doesn't it? As much fun as they're having right now, they're locked in, really clicking on all cylinders. They also know that if they ever miss a chance to put points on the board, they've actually put their team in jeopardy. And that's not how you want to play the game. It's supposed to be complementary football, offense, defense. But today, it's all offense for them.
Yeah, they've been playing with a sense of urgency. It's probably going to need to continue.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, And that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. From the 31, here comes second and a yard. Garoppolo looks to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Sutton. 7 yards there and a first down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's going to be caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A good pickup there, 21 yards. They'll try and power it home here with a fullback Johnson. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. Walker is going backwards here. Now they come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
Sanders' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this, started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. Now Mahomes looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It was Anthony Barr that time who got in there and made the play. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Mahomes now to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Meanwhile, Mahomes throw into the hands of Fan. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Mahomes now on 1st down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara to about the 26 here.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Mahomes going to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. The Packers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Kamara. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Tucker's kick is good, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? It's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And Oliver through the line and hitting him for the loss. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. There's Garoppolo to throw.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Now Garoppolo is in trouble, and down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Here's Michael Palardy now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. The Packers ready to take over offensively. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that were happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down. Now Mahomes. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Mahomes' throw taken in here by Chase. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Mahomes to throw once more. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Carl Lawson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. To throw, it's Mahomes. Touchdown, Packers! Jamar Chase with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. But we are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Garoppolo. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Parker, I think this will win a ride very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. Responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. Do you think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player who's having that type of a day because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, you know, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. 9 yards on the 1st down. Keeper, and it's 2nd and 1. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look to grab a late lead. On 2nd down, Kamara. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead. So how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Tucker's kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
So Jimmy Garoppolo and the offense down by a field goal, a minute 13 to play. And they're in danger of a third straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball, so important.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Lambeau faithful making as much noise as they can. It's 3rd down. Back to throw, Garoppolo. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Well, the noise got to be an issue now offensively. Here's 3rd and 6. To throw is Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Maybe some temptation here to try to go for the win, but I think you got to kick the field goal.
I agree totally. When you look at the time left on the clock, that's not a spot where you take the gamble. Go ahead and kick the field goal here and take it from there.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. 4 seconds to go. This would send us to overtime. And his kick here is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the 3rd drive of overtime. And as we know, from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Gotta punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
It'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara, nifty move. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
What can Mahomes do now with his overtime drive? Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now here's Mahomes. And a throw there going to be incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanting the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. That'll be caught with St. Brown. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. So the game-winning touchdown came through the air in overtime. 4 quarters wasn't enough. We were treated to a really good one, weren't we, Parker?
That we were, and I just love being able to be witness to a game like this all the way through. Who's going to win it? Oh, what? We're getting overtime? Great for us.